ordinary business. Item number 1. To receive, consider and adopt the audited financial statements of the company for the financial year ended March 31st, 2021, together with the reports of the Board of Directors and auditors thereon. Item number 2. To confirm the payment of the interim dividend of ₹9 per equity share already paid and to declare the final dividend of ₹14 per equity share for the financial year ended on March 31, 2021. Now I hand over to Mr. Sanjeev Datta.
Item number 3. To appoint a director in place of Mr. Manoj Jain, DIN 07556033, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers himself for reappointment. Over to you, Chairman.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Special business. Item number 4. Alteration of articles of association of the company. Item number 5. Ratification of cost auditors remuneration. Item number 6. To approve material related party transactions. Item number 7. Reappointment of Mr. Syed S. Hussain, DIN 002091117 as an independent director. Item number 8. Appointment of Mr. Sanjay Shinde, DIN 09172642 as the whole-time director designated as Deputy Managing Director. Item number 9. Appointment of Mr. Baldev Singh, DIN 03577274 as non-executive director. Item number 10. To pay commission to independent directors. Item number 11. Appointment of Ms. Malvika Sinha, DIN 08373142 as the independent director. Item number 12. Appointment of Mr. Rajiv Bhaskar Sai, DIN 06662067 as the independent director. Item number 13. Appointment of Mr. Venkatraman Srinivasan, DIN 0024612 as the independent director. The resolutions as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to have been passed today, that is 28th September 2021, subject to receipt of requisite number of votes. Dear shareholders, I have already shared my thoughts with you through my letter in the annual report. I take this opportunity to dwell upon some more thoughts. Dear members, it's an honor and pleasure to welcome you all to the 26th Annual General Meeting of Mahanagar Gas Ltd. Over the years, your company has delivered consistent profits and showcased exceptional operational efficiency to maintain its growth trajectory. It gives us confidence to further improve our performances and aspire for greater success as we move forward. With a vision to encourage the use of a safer and cleaner alternative to fossil fuel, your company endeavors to promote the use of natural gas as a responsible and green choice. Your company continues to be a strong incumbent in the city gas distribution sector, showcasing significant strength and core capabilities. We are the sole authorized distributor of CNG and PNG in Mumbai, its adjoining area, and Raigad with a track record of over 25 years. Our extensive pipeline network around 5,900 kilometers and 276 CNG filling stations allow us to serve millions of households, numerous vehicles, and multiple industries with Swachh and Surakshit fuel. During the year, your company has managed to withstand this once-in-a-century pandemic-induced disruption remarkably well. Throughout this period, your company was able to successfully maintain an uninterrupted supply of gas in its geographical areas. Extensive industrial expertise coupled with new age digital capabilities have helped your company to sustain its operations while pressing ahead with its longer-term objectives for growth and enhancing value for its stakeholders. During the year, your company strengthened its position by laying about 46 km of steel and 152 km of medium pressure polyethylene pipelines. During the pandemic impacted FY 2021, your company saw its revenue from operations dropping by 28.39% as compared to the previous year to reach a turnover of rupees 23,378 million. The profit after tax decreased from rupees 7,935 million in FY 2020 to rupees 6,196 million in FY 2021, registering a reduction of 21.92%. Due to the obvious impact of reduced volumes, the company's revenue and PAT were adversely affected during FY 2021. However, your company managed to increase its EBITDA margin from 35.42% to 43.39% as compared to the previous fiscal. The resurgence of COVID-19 second wave posed a renewed threat to the V-shaped economic recovery that was anticipated earlier. Even though both local and global economic indicators would remain largely unfavorable for the short to medium term, your company foresees a continued and steady growth in the years to come. Our existing territories are among the most developed and advanced in India. With new geographical areas coming up at a faster rate, the business case for CGD networks will certainly get promoted, paving the way for CGD companies. Your company aims to participate prudently in this opportunity and target accelerated growth through greenfield initiatives, partnerships, and alliances. Your company added 15 new and upgraded 20 existing CNG stations. Moreover, we were able to provide PNG connectivity to more than 120,000 households, and 249 new industrial and commercial customers came into our fold. Your company has set up a CNG mobile refueling unit in Panvel, Raigad area for technical trial of mobile fueling. Commencement of commercial operations of this unit has started in current financial year. The board has proposed a final dividend of Rs 14 per share, a substantial increase from the previous year. Better margins, benefit from corporate tax cuts, and favorable spot prices allowed us to remain profitable and create value for our members. In FY 21-22, we plan to add at least 50 new and upgraded CNG stations and provide PNG connectivity to 3 lakh plus households while expanding our existing network with more than 41 kilometers of steel pipeline and about 163 kilometers of medium pressure polyethylene pipelines. A growing population is expected to increase demand for commercial and domestic natural gas. The government is promoting use of PNG and it will further improve demand for natural gas. Taking advantage of an opportune business landscape, we aspire to penetrate deeper into existing markets while exploring avenues for improving our reach further. Taking into consideration a vast untapped market for natural gas and a favorable industry outlook, we remain optimistic about accomplishing our goals. Resting on our robust infrastructure, operational capacity, and a focused growth strategy, we remain poised to successfully fulfill future endeavors. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my gratitude towards Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India, Government of Maharashtra, Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board, GAIL India Limited, all departments of the central and state governments, various municipal corporations, Mumbai Metropolitan Regional Development Authority, Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, and police and fire brigade authorities for their kind and continuous support to your company. Before I conclude, I would like to appreciate our people for their tremendous determination and hard work. We consider our employees a cornerstone of our success and acknowledge their contribution to the success of our organization. I would also like to thank all my fellow board members for their invaluable support and guidance. Lastly, I am thankful to our members for their continued support and faith in us. With a strong focus on maximizing stakeholder value, we look forward to your support in our journey of growth and success. Thank you very much. There has been no qualification, reservation, adverse remark or disclaimer given by the statutory auditors in their report for the financial year 2021. There has been no qualification, reservation, adverse remark or disclaimer given by the secretarial auditor in his report for the financial year 2021. Except non-appointment of independent women director, the company has appointed the requisite independent directors on the board of the company on 24th of August 2021. With the permission of the members present, I take the auditor's report and secretarial auditor's report for the financial year 2020-2021 as read and taken into record. I now request the company secretary to explain the sequence of the meeting and the process for the voting on the resolutions in the meeting. I hand over to company secretary. Over to company secretary.
Thank you, sir. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 108 of the Companies Act 2013, read with rules made thereunder and SEBI listing obligations and disclosure requirements regulation 2015, your company is pleased to provide the e-voting facility administered by NSDL. The remote e-voting facility was provided by the company, which commenced on Friday, September 24, 2021 at 9 a.m. and ended on Monday, September 27, 2021 at 5 p.m. Only those shareholders whose names are appearing in the register of members as on the cutoff date, that is 28 September 2021, and have not voted on the resolutions during the remote e-voting period shall be eligible to vote during the AGM. Mr. Upendra Shukla, practicing company secretary, has been appointed as the scrutinizer to scrutinize the votes cast by the members during the AGM and through remote e-voting process in a fair and transparent manner. Since the AGM is held through video conferencing or other audio visual means, and the resolutions mentioned in the notice convening this AGM have already been put to vote through remote e-voting, there will be no proposing and seconding of the resolutions. I now hand over to Chairman, sir.
Dear shareholders, as this is annual general meeting for the shareholders and investors of the company, and due to paucity of time, we request all of you to put forward your queries only from shareholders and investors' point of view. If any shareholder has any query relating to customer relations services, please submit your query to our customer relations management desk at support@mahanagargas.com, and our CRM department will endeavor to resolve your query at the earliest and send a suitable reply to you on the same. Members are requested to ask queries in a precise manner to enable the management to take queries of all the shareholders within the available time. Now we shall be proceeding toward the question and answer session. Now I would like to invite the shareholders who have registered themselves to speak at this AGM. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. We will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. I invite our first speaker shareholder, Mr. Sailesh Mahadevia, to please go ahead with his questions. Mr. Mahadevia, I would request you to please unmute your audio and go ahead with your queries. Mr. Mahadevia, you're on mute, sir. If you can unmute your audio.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
And can you see me also?
So your camera is turned off, but we can hear you.
Can you see me now?
No, sir.
Well, anyway, I will proceed as long as you can hear me well. Respected Chairman, distinguished directors, and members of the company. Sir, first let me congratulate the entire board of directors and management team and all our employees for achieving excellent result under the most critical conditions prevailing not only in the country but world over. Sir, my congratulations. I appreciate the report which has been prepared and it explains all the points which we would like to understand. Sir, I also appreciate the services of your secretarial department who are kind enough to send me a soft copy of the report yesterday at night when my copy was misplaced. Sir, I also appreciate services of Chorus. Now, my questions with a view to increase my understanding. Sir, my question is that government is planning to encourage investment in distribution of gas work within the country. Sir, may I know, will this not amount to duplication of infrastructure? Sir, where exactly the government will draw a line up to what point the competition will be allowed and beyond that the exclusive service will be provided? Sir, my next question is regarding capacity utilization. Sir, last year as you have reported, we could not utilize all our facilities. Sir, may I know what is the capacity utilization of our infrastructure and is it likely to increase in the current year? Sir, in the chairman's statement, it has been stated that 50 new CNG stations will be put up in 21 and 22. What has not been stated is the division. Sir, how many of them will be new CNG stations and out of 50, how many of them will be upgraded? Sir, my next observation is that the operating expenses have reduced by 13% during the year under considerations. Sir, are we likely to maintain these reduced expenses even when all the services start normally within the country? Sir, my next question is, and an observation, that the market capitalization of our company is almost constant. If you compare it last year at this time and at present at this time, that in spite of enjoying excellent EBITDA improvement, our market capitalization has remained the same, and that is a cause of concern to us. And, sir, my last question is that we are getting gas from different sources. Sir, is the quality of gas which we get from different source, whether the quality is the same, or at what stage we try to ensure that ideal quality of gas is released for distribution? Sir, with this, I wish our organization every success and prosperity in the years to come. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. I now invite our next speaker shareholder, Mr. Ravi Kumar Naredi, to please go ahead with his questions. Mr. Naredi, I would request you to please unmute your audio and proceed with your questions, please. Mr. Ravi Kumar Naredi? Okay, Mr. Naredi, if you can please unmute your audio and go ahead, please. We'll check. Mr. Naredi, we can see you, but we can't hear you. Can you hear us? If you can take off your earphones and speak, sir. While we check for the connection for Mr. Naredi, we'll move on to our next question, which is an audio question, which is from the line of Mr. Kirti Shah. Kirti Shah, you may please go ahead. Please go ahead with your question.
तुम्हारे पास है?
कीर्ति शाह, your voice is...
वो सब क्यों रखा है तुम्हारे पास महानगर का और सब का?
Mr. Kirti Shah, you can go ahead with your question, please. We are just checking for the connection of Mr. Kirti Shah. Just a moment, please.
हाँ हाँ मैडम बोला
Mr. Shah? Mr. Shah, आपकी लाइन अनम्यूट की गई है, आप अपना सवाल पूछ सकते हैं.
हेलो.
Yes, Mr. Shah.
तुम्ही ज्या व्यक्तीशी बोलत आहात त्याने होल्डवर ठेवला आहे.
We'll check for the connection for Mr. Shah in the meanwhile. Mr. Santosh Chopra is speaker shareholder number 1. Mr. Santosh Chopra has not joined the meeting. We are just checking for the connection for Mr. Naredi and Mr. Kirti Shah. So we request you to please stay connected. My team is checking the connection for Mr. Naredi. We'll just bring him in the next few seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, we are checking for the connection for the speaker shareholders. Okay, we have our next speaker shareholder, Mr. Ravi Kumar Naredi. Mr. Naredi, please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for giving me opportunity. I have two questions. My first one is, so what is our capex plan in the financial year 21-22 and 22-23, and how many CNG stations you have a plan to add the current year and next year? And so what is the cost for CNG station? And my next question is, you have a plan to set up a EV charging also with Tata Power. So my question is, what is the cost per station and revenue potential in this joint venture? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I now invite our next speaker shareholder, Mr. Kirti Shah, to please go ahead. कीर्ति शाह, आपकी लाइन अनम्यूट की गई है, आप अपना सवाल पूछ सकते हैं।
हेलो हेलो।
जी सर, आपकी आवाज आ रही है।
हाँ, गुड मॉर्निंग सर, कीर्ति शाह हियर। गुड मॉर्निंग चेयरमैन सर।
गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड मॉर्निंग।
हाँ चेयरमैन सर, अभी जो आपका प्रमोटर होल्डिंग है ओनली 32.50% है, एफआईएस का 30% है। अभी आप जितना भी मेहनत करेगा, एफआईएस वाला जैसे ही वर्ल्ड खराब होगा वो डाउन करके जाएगा, डंप करके जाएगा मार्केट में। तो लोकल इंस्टीट्यूशन का आपका म्यूचुअल फंड का होल्डिंग काफी कम है कंपेयर टू एफआईएस, और एचएनआई का होल्डिंग नहीं है इतना। तो एचएनआई को और लोकल डोमेस्टिक इंस्टीट्यूशन का होल्डिंग बढ़ाना जरूरी है। और प्रमोटर का खास, प्रमोटर को क्यों इतना कम होल्डिंग रखा हुआ है? प्रमोटर अपना होल्डिंग क्यों नहीं बढ़ाना चाहता? इतनी बढ़िया कंपनी, इतनी बढ़िया अपॉर्चुनिटी आके 5-10 साल तो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है। और प्राइस टू बुक वैल्यू ओनली 3.60 है आपका, वो बहुत ही कम है। तो उसके लिए जरा सोचने की जरूरत है। बाकी मैंने आपको ईमेल किया हुआ है, आप जरा ईमेल का पूरा रिप्लाई करेंगे ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा। विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट, थैंक यू वेरी मच। हेलो,
Thank you very much. That was our last question. I now hand over the proceedings to the chairman for the answers. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shailesh Mahadevia has few questions. One or two were relating to the government investment policy and whether it is leading to duplicacy of infrastructure. I would like to assure you, sir, that presently, as compared to the worldwide scenario, our country has very less network of gas pipelines as well as city gas distribution network. So at this stage, there is no question of duplicacy of infrastructure. Rather, increasing the infrastructure by all means is a welcome step, and that will lead to ease up for the common people as well as in facilitating the gas-based economy, which is also going to help in reduction of the pollution as well as facilitation of ease to household people as well as the vehicles, less pollution, and also for the industrial and commercial consumers. So from that perspective, the competition in the infrastructure and also the encouragement policies for increasing the infrastructure is a welcome step, and we Mahanagar Gas also welcomes these steps by the Government of India. Regarding the question of Mr. Kirti Shah regarding the promoter enhancement of promoter equity and the threat from the foreign institutional investor, we have noted your suggestion and we will discuss these amongst ourselves and we will work upon them based on the total scenario available to us. Apart from this, there are few operational questions. So I will suggest our MD, Mr. Datta, to kindly respond to the questions of Mr. Shailesh and Mr. Ravi regarding the capacity utilization, breakup of new CNG stations, and reduction in operating expenses. Regarding quality of gas, I would just add here before I hand over to Mr. Datta is that the quality is as per the regulatory framework, and the PNGRB as a regulator has defined the minimum quality standards, and since all the gases are commingled in different pipelines, at all time all pipeline operators endeavor to ensure that this quality is maintained. And wherever there are issues with regard to the deviations, at the initial starting point of the pipeline itself, there are shut-off valves which take care of this off-spec gas not to be taken into the pipeline. So I'll hand over to Mr. Datta. Sanjeev.
Thank you, Chairman sir. I will first respond to Mr. Mahadevia's balanced questions. One of his questions was with regard to the capacity utilization of our infrastructure. Now in CNG, our current capacity utilization is to the extent of 50%. We have roughly 36 lakh kg of compression capacity, out of which 36 lakh, out of which 18 lakh kg per day of compression capacity is being utilized. It's an ongoing process, and we keep on adding stations. It takes some time for the capacity utilization per station to increase. So this trend is likely to continue because today we are now putting about new stations in the district of Raigad, where currently the vehicle population is less. So we are putting up the station in anticipation that the vehicle populations will grow and the capacity utilization will correspondingly grow. As far as our pipeline is concerned, laying a pipeline for a CGD network is again kind of a ongoing activity. So we keep on reaching new geographies within our licensed area itself, and that leads to the enhancement of capacity of the network. And commensurately, we keep on connecting consumers, whether it is domestic, whether it is commercial or industrial, and accordingly the capacity utilization of the network goes up. With regard to setting up of new CNG stations, yes, we have stated that we are targeting 50 new CNG stations. Last financial year, we did 15 new stations and upgraded 20. This year, we want to do more than 50, both put together. Currently, the way we look at it, we should be doing at least 25 to 30 new CNG stations in this financial year, and upgrade around 30 to 35 existing stations. So this year, our numbers are likely to be much better on this front. The next question was with regard to operating expenses. Last year, our operating expenses were less as compared to financial year 1920. So this essentially is a volume reduction in OPEX, because last year our volume sold was roughly 25% less than what we had achieved in financial year 1920. So more stations that we run, more electricity we consume. So OPEX increases. Primarily it is electricity consumed in the CNG station. That is what gives rise to this operating expenses. Just to quote a few numbers, in 1920 our operating expenses were 459 crore, which came down to 383 crore in financial year 2021. As I said, primarily the decrease is attributable to less volume sale. This year, the first 2 months of the current financial year were bad when we were hit by the second wave. But since then, the volumes have picked up and we have already exceeded the pre-COVID level. So our CNG sale, PNG sale, industrial, commercial and domestic sale, all sales have registered uptick, and we expect that our OPEX will increase because it's again linked to higher volume sales. But one thing I wish to assure to Mr. Mahadevia, that if you calculate OPEX per SCM, which should actually matter, MGL's OPEX per unit volume of gas sold is best in the country. There we can assure you that we are going to better our previous benchmarks. As far as market cap is concerned, Chairman Sahib has already explained. And now I come to Mr. Ravi Kumar Naredi's question of capex plan for 21-22 and going forward for 22-23 also. This year we are targeting to achieve at least a capex of 800 crore. We have budgeted ourselves for 1100 crore, but we think that because again this year for 2 months we could not pull out our capex program because of the second wave, but we think that we will be trying very hard to achieve at least 800 crore of capex, and a similar number will be there for 22-23 as well. Now, number of CNG stations, I think I responded, part of it is covered under my response to Mr. Mahadevia. You had a question on per station cost that we are incurring. So, typically we have different models of CNG station. If I may restrict my comment to the company operated stations, there we can say that we build a station at a capex of only 3 to 4 crores of rupees. We take the land on lease primarily, and then we spend around 3 to 4 crore for civil construction as well as to set up the entire CNG dispensing related infrastructure comprising of compressor, dispenser, and power supply and everything. And your next question was with regard to EV charging. Yes, we in association with Tata Power, we have installed EV charging facility at our Vadala CNG station. It's on a cost sharing basis, it's on a revenue sharing basis. The revenue potential is good, but unfortunately, as you must have noticed, that our CNG stations are quite, they're not very spacious, or there are a lot of vehicle dispensers already installed in our station, and also there are a lot of queues in many of our stations. So reserving a slot for dedicated EV in situ charging, where the vehicle will stand there for quite some time, is all our stations do not lend themselves to such kind of an arrangement. So we would see to it, wherever we have the facility of putting up EV charging point without actually interfering with the flow of CNG filling traffic, there we would certainly look at putting up the EV charging points. Now, Mr. Mahadevi had one question on why our market cap is by and large constant. For this, I would request our CFO, Mr. Ranade, to respond.
Mahadevi, thank you very much for your question. First of all, this the basic job of your management is to perform, and it is for the market to respond by way of share price. However, what we feel about the market capitalization, there are certain issues right now pending for decisions. For example, there is a Uran-Tombe pipeline matter, which is a legal matter of substantial amount, which has been also disclosed as contingent liability, more than 300 crores nearly. There is also a matter relating to trade discount pertaining to oil marketing companies. We offer trade discount, as you might be aware, for selling the CNG through CNG outlets co-located at OMC petrol pumps. Negotiations are still on, but that decision is still pending, what exactly will happen to it. So these are some important decisions right now pending. Probably that could be one of the causes of relatively constant capitalization. However, you have rightly put it, the margin point of view company is doing very well, and soon you will see there will be improvement in the volume increase also. It's a great news that today we are almost back to a little more than even pre-COVID volume levels. With that, we are hopeful that the market will positively respond from the capitalization point of view also.
Thank you. First of all, let me thank all the shareholders who offered their suggestions, comments, observations, and raised some questions to respond and think about. We hope that all the queries raised by the shareholders and investors have been addressed satisfactorily. In case any of the registered speakers could not join or speak due to technical reasons, or queries raised during the meetings have remained unanswered, the queries may be sent to the company through email. The same shall be responded to suitably. Now I request Mr. Atul Prabhu, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer, to conduct the voting procedure and conclude the meeting. The e-voting facility will remain open for next 30 minutes to enable the members to cast the votes electronically. The results will be announced within 48 hours of the conclusion of the meeting, and the same would be intimated to the stock exchanges and also uploaded on the website of the company as well as of NSDL. I once again take the opportunity to thank all shareholders of the company for attending the AGM and for your continued support to the company. I also extend my thanks to the Board of Directors of the company for joining the meeting through video conferencing today. I also express my thanks to the officers and employees and other stakeholders of the company for reposing your faith in the company. The voting results along with the scrutinizer's report shall be submitted to the stock exchanges within 2 working days of conclusion of the AGM for dissemination. With your consent, I and all other board members would like to leave the meeting, and I announce formal closure of the 26th annual general meeting of the company and declare the meeting has been concluded. I request all the shareholders to stay safe and healthy at this time. Thank you. I now request Ms. Malvika Sinha, Independent Director, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of all the members of the board, I wish to express our sincere thanks to all our stakeholders, our shareholders, our clients, and our business partners. I'd like to acknowledge the management team, entire workforce for their dedication and resilience. Despite all the challenges they have faced from COVID-19, they work tirelessly to ensure uninterrupted supplies and services to our customers. I would like to place on record my deep for the valuable guidance provided by my colleagues on the board. I shall conclude with a special vote of thanks to each one of you for attending the meeting and your enduring support. We assure you of our very best efforts always. Thank you. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you very much, ma'am.